Hello and welcome. Today we are going to continue with Oracle 21C database, managing performance. You want to have your database very fast. Project 6A. Now, after we have gone through the presentation, we will also have the hands-on at the end. So, what performance management means? What performance management means? It's about making sure the database runs efficiently. Queries return results fast. Resources like CPU, memory, and I/O input/output are not wasted. And users don't complain about slowness. User report that queries on the employees table are running slow is an example. As a DBA, you want to find slow SQL. Check execution plans and tune it. It's a 5-step process, Oracle 21C performance management. First step, identify the high load SQL. Find the top SQL by CPU usage from AWR last snapshot. So you need to do select SQL, go through the order by CPU descending, and then close by semicolon. Step 2, you need to check the execution plan for your SQL. Show the plan for a specific SQL. Explain plan for, you will use this SQL code. Explain plan for all the way down to department I equal to 50. Display the plan to say select from dbms xplan.display. Step 3, you need to create an index if needed. You create index to improve where clause filtering. You say create index in department ID. Step 4, rerun and compare your performance after all is done. Check SQL performance again by saying select style from trouble, open parenthesis, dbms on the bar, xplan.display on the bar cursor, open parenthesis, null, comma, single quote, all starts. Last, single quote, parenthesis, close, and semicolon. Step number 5, use SQL Tuning Advisor. It's optional and it's also automated if you like. Here is the script to do that. Declare and you go to end with a slash. All right. The basic DBA tuning cycle is first you need to do find the slow SQL query. 2, check execution plan. 3, tune with indexes or rewrites. 4, verify if there's any improvement. Optionally, let Oracle's advisor suggest fixes that you need to fix. All right, now we are getting to the head. All right, for you to start the operation from your C prompt, you need to log on SQL plus / no log. The reason you use no log so that your password will not show. All right, you go over here, make sure you log onto your C prompt with admin command prompt. All right, you copy this. You copy Control C. You come over here and you say no log. And now you are connected. So you're doing two things at the same time. So the next thing you do, step number 1, identify high load SQL. Again, you copy this and you paste it here. And then it says CPU time. We need to find out the CPU time. All right, we find a fix for that. We need to use the current SQL performance statistics, and that is found with $SQL and not history, because we have not run history on this local computer. All right, and so when we change that to $, and take a look at it, copy this and paste, and this is what the result looks like. You will have SQL ID, the execution total per second, the CPU second, and the SQL text. The ID, for example, is D7ZV, and the execution second is 15 seconds, and the CPU use is 0.02 second, and the SQL text follows. So this is 15 to 9. That's how you determined the top CPU usage from the last snapshot taken. All right, so we're done with that one. We go to the next slide. Now we want to check the execution plan. So again, we copy this. Well, you can copy all of it as long as you remove this. As long as you remove the bullet point. All right, you copy that. And you paste. Check it again. Copy, Control C, and down. All right. Again, we found that this one here also said cannot fetch the last explain plan. Let's go find out how to. All right. Now, in this example here, we were referring to employees table. So we need to make sure employee table has employee ID and not department that we had originally. So by querying the employee ID, what did I do? Over here, I said describe. I put the command DESC employee describe. It's your employee ID, first name, last name, hire date, and salary. Now I decide to say employee ID equal 2, and then everything works well. All right. So here is the example of how to check execution plan. There were 2 access for employee ID equal 2. All right. So we go to the next one. Again, this one only have employee ID, so we gotta change that right there. We create index. All right, we copy that and we paste here. And again, this one say employee ID already indexed, so we don't have to read twice. That one has been done already. Okay, so we go to the next one. Select from table, display the plan. Now we copy this, copy that, Control C, right click, P, and then everything is done. 22 rows selected. Wow. We go to the next one. Now, step 5, use SQL Tuner Advisor. This is optional, but you can also use it. And let's see how this will run. We have employee tuning tasks, employee query, and we run this. Copy that and paste. All right, we do have a couple of errors, and we can try to figure out what that error is. What we're trying to do now is to use SQL Tuning Advisor. Again, this is optional. You don't have to schedule it, but then if you are interested, it's good on the server and not on a laptop. Okay, so far so good. And now we go to the next thing. We're going to check that out. Basically, we already talked about this, so we will go and figure out why we have the sys error, and I will tell you why as soon as possible. All right, I just discovered something here. For you to use the SQL Tuning Advisor, you have to have a license, but we are using Express. Express is a free download, so there's a workaround. A workaround of that is to use the one that says explain for, and you select employee. When you do explain for, life is easier. You just can go through with that without having to pay. So we did that. We copy that and we paste here, and we copy that and paste here. We don't have any more error. Employee ID is MID. Okay. All right. We don't have MID equals to 50. That was wrong. Let's check that. Okay, we fixed 2 things: employee ID and employee ID. After that is said and done, Copy and paste again, select, and there is no more error. Final. So far so good. Troubleshooting done properly. And we have been able to go over to find the slow SQL for performance tuning, check the execution plan, tune with indexes, and verify improvements. And once again, we have been able to do that. So if you pay attention right now, the minutes as being used is 1 instead of 19 that we saw over here. All right. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next project.